All right. Thank you guys so much for jumping on to our outdoor and oils class. I'm really excited. This is like one of my favorite topics. Me and my kids pretty much live outside, so we are out exploring and adventuring every chance we can get. And so I'm really excited to dive into some ways that you can do that as well on your own or with your family. But I don't know, Brittany, if you want to share like kind of what inspired this class for you, since we just talked about different topics.
Yeah. So we just went on a camping trip. It was my kids' first camping trip, and so being outdoors was just kind of on my mind, and we found a few different uses for oils along the way, and also we found some uses in retrospect for oils that we didn't have with us that would have been nice along the way, but live and learn. So now I'm kind of here for the learn part.
I love it. I am too, even though I'm teaching. I always like learn something new and I love it. But just a little bit of backstory. My name is Kylie Carey. I've been using Young Living essential oils for almost 8 years now. It's just been an amazing time of getting rid of the toxins in our home and switching to safe products for me and my kids, and being able to take care of things right away instead of having to be like, I don't know, like what to do. We'll figure it out, you know. But I like having the oils on hand just to like grab out of my bag and be like, okay, put this on. That's my favorite part. But and then Brittany and I met like a few years ago, actually, because of Young Living. And she worked at the farmer's market with me, and I would always buy her kombucha, and it was absolutely delicious. So thank you for introducing that into my life, Brittany.
Thanks for being a supporter.
Always.
It's a lot.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the next slide. All right, Brittany, this is you.
So for me, I chose Young Living. I got introduced to it right before Selena was born. So she is my third. She is like 5.5 now. And that was kind of my first look at it. I was a couple of weeks away from delivery. Well, I think I was like a week away from my due date, but she ended up being late. So it was a couple of weeks. She had no evacuation hurry there. But my two older kids had gotten sick with like a respiratory thing. I don't remember exactly what. And a friend at church gave me some oils to help get the house ready for bringing a new baby with a brand new immune system home into it. And they worked. But then I put them away and had a brand new baby and no sleep. So I didn't really think about it anymore for a little while. And then a different friend, completely unrelated, invited me to a class. And on my way to the class, I started feeling sick, and I stopped at the pharmacy, and they didn't have what I would normally grab. So I was like, well, this sucks. I'll just move on. And so I just went on and I sat through the class and I listened to all these different ideas on what different things could be used and how. And so I went home feeling more run down because a couple hours had gone by and I just pretended to be fine because I was already on my way. And when I got home, I was like, well, I'm just going to try these again. And they worked again. So naturally, I put them away and forgot about them again, because what else would you do? But I ended up a third time needing to use them on my whole household, and they worked. And this time I was paying attention. So I went back to the very first original friend and got hooked up with a starter kit, which is something we'll talk about a little bit more in depth later on. And I just really fell in love with the whole process of using it. You can always find me or Austin with like a roller ball of lavender in our pocket to run up behind a kid and like put it on their neck and get them to calm down a little bit, because kids are crazy. But yeah, then we had this huge cross-country move, and I lost track of everything. And because naturally, that's what I do. I can't juggle all the things. Some of the things have to fall. And now that we've been getting more settled and into a routine here, I found myself really missing the products. So I had to seek them out again. I had to jump right on board because I tried a couple other things like, well, whatever, I'll just grab this in the meantime. I'll just grab that in the meantime. And every time I was like, I can't wait to run out of this so I can get the thing that I actually want.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I totally get the whole like can't do all the things. I try so hard and something falls. It's totally normal.
I
Um,
heard this quote one time that like when you're juggling all the different balls, it's important to know which ones are glass and which ones are rubber. And you can just let the rubber ones drop and it's going to be fine. They'll come back up again.
so prioritizing your juggling.
Yep.
I guess that makes more sense than just trying to balance all of it.
Yep.
So Young Living is a company that has been around for 25 plus years. I love them. Because they own all of their own farms worldwide, and you can visit them. So I love their transparency. You know, they invite people to come and be a part of the experience. You can even like take tours into their distilleries. They do third-party testing, and they're not just like organic. They're definitely a step up from that. They're called 100% pure therapeutic grade essential oils. You'll definitely have the different grades of essential oils on the market. And so most of the time what you're buying when you go to a grocery store is like floral water. The FDA has no regulations over essential oils, and so a lot of the companies will put only 5 to 10% of the oil in it and then stretch it with whatever carriers or preservatives or anything that you want. And so Young Living has a seed to seal guarantee. You can go to seedtoseal.com to learn more about that. But essentially what that means is that from the time that the seed is planted to the time that the oil is bottled and shipped to you, it is with the utmost integrity and quality. If something that they distill and bottle, when they test it, if it does not come out to their standards or the third party standards, they absolutely refuse to sell it to their members. And so I like that, knowing that what I'm putting on my body and what I'm putting on my child's body or what I'm putting in the diffuser to breathe into the air is not going to cause side effects, you know, like some things you would buy in the store. So I love that. For me, it's peace of mind in growing my little family. Hi. So the first thing that we're going to talk about tonight is before you even go outside, grab your thieves wipes or your thieves spray or your thieves hand sanitizer. There's a backstory with the thieves, and that is in the century with the plague. There was a group of robbers going around and stealing off the plague victims, and they weren't catching any of the bacteria or the viruses. And they finally get caught by the authorities, and for a lesser sentence, they gave up the reason of why they weren't catching any of the bacteria. And it turns out they were spice traders, and so they were rubbing themselves down with these spices: rosemary, clove, eucalyptus, cinnamon bark, lemon. That was all of them, right? Lemon, rosemary, clove, eucalyptus.
I think so.
Cinnamon bark. And so Gary Young, the founder of Young Living, he is passed now, but he heard this story. And so he created a blend for us to be able to use to support our immune system. And so I have like the actual like oil blend that I'll throw in the diffuser or like make my own products with and all that fun stuff. But he also made a whole like cleaning line and dental care line, oral care all of the things that we need to support our immune system and make sure that we're getting to clean things as well. And so I take my Thieves hand sanitizer everywhere. It's not going to have the yucky ingredients that the stuff in the store does. And it's the same thing with the spray and with the wipes. You guys can use those on all surfaces. I travel not a lot, but occasionally. And so like when I'm on the airplane, I love having the Thieves wipes because then I can just quickly wipe everything down. People tend to like look at you really like judgy if you're spraying stuff. So that's just something that I figured out and I thought I would share with you guys. But then like the Thieves spray is really great for like the shopping carts, like especially right now, you know, while all the shopping carts are getting sprayed with who knows what, you know, or like the gas pump or your steering wheel. So maybe like the table before you're eating, you know, stuff like that. Is just really nice to have on hand. So when you are out on a hike or when you are, you know, camping, you never know when you're gonna need something for your hands or the kids. You never know what you're gonna get your hands into. So these are really awesome for that. Brittany, do you have anything on this?
No, I mean, you pretty much covered it there. Absolutely.
All right. And then citronella and peppermint are awesome essential oils for warding off those pesky flying things. I love putting these in like a roll-on bottle and then filling it up with like whatever carrier oil I have on hand, like whether it's olive or jojoba or avocado, just those really good fatty oils. You don't want to use like canola, you know, those cooking oils. But you want to make sure you're using something with like really, like something that's really good for your skin. And so you can put these together in a roll-on. You can put these together in a diffuser, just like a couple drops of each and have them going. But especially like when we're out and about and, you know, we notice that there's a lot of flying things around us and the kids are like, ah, mom, ah. This is nice to put on before or afterwards, you know, on any of those spots. They do have, you know, like the citronella candles in the stores, but those two have like super yucky ingredients. And so I like that this is straight citronella and then straight peppermint.
Yeah, those candles, they make me gag. Like I can taste them for days. It's just a bad time. But we did have our campsite was like right next to like a river and waterfall situation. So, you know, nighttime and water definitely brings out some bloodsuckers there. And yeah, the citronella was something that we really found came in handy for us this time around, especially without gagging in the meantime.
One thing that I've done too is like putting just a couple drops like on the corners of your tent on like the inside, just to make sure like none of the bugs want to come inside. And so that's really nice too.
That's a good idea.
And then if you want like an insect repellent, Young Living definitely has one and I love it. I've used this like up in Maine in the forest there and have not found anything on me even after leaving the forest, which I'm really impressed with. But it's DEET free. Which is really great because a lot of the products you'll find have DEET in them, which is not good for our bodies. But it's 100% plant-based formula and it has essential oils in it. It's kind of, it's like, it's a liquid. And so you can just rub it onto you. You can put it in a spray bottle. You can even put it in one of the roll-on bottles and just roll it on you. This one looks like a pop open cap, but the ones that they sell, the one that I have has like a pump. And so I think that's something that they switched. So it won't have like the pop-up tab. Have you gotten to use this, Brittany?
No, I didn't even know that one existed until just like looking at through these slides earlier, and it's definitely going on my list. I need this.
I love this stuff. I even bought a bottle for we teach outdoor school here, or I do. I teach an outdoor homeschool program, and so I make sure to have this on hand for the kids too, just to make sure like we're putting really good things on our body.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so right here is Digest, and that's another one that we found to be super important because, as everyone knows, one of the most important factors of having a safe and successful camping trip is the immense amount of s'mores that you have to eat. And if you do that, I mean, sometimes tummies get upset, or sometimes somebody thinks that it would be a fun idea to take a mouthful of river water, and that really grosses me out, but kids do gross things. um, and yeah, so Digest is absolutely, since I discovered it like 5 years ago to currently, I have never run out of it. Even in the time that I like lapsed in my Young Living usage, I had enough extra bottles on hand that I never ran out of this one. And my kids ask for it by name, and by name I mean they ask for tummy oil because that's the name that they have for it, but still they know what they're asking for and they want it. Anytime like any little upset happens, I need some tummy oil, Mom, and we keep it in the roller bottles. And they think that it's like the best thing ever if we like write their name on their belly with it instead of like just like scribbling it on. They like to have their name written, but it's absolutely my favorite of all time.
Digest is pretty phenomenal. It's one of the first. So when I got my starter kit with the oils, like it came with like 12. I remember smelling Digest and being like, "Oh my gosh, this is the grossest thing that I've ever smelled," and it's because it's all of the digestive herbs. So you're gonna smell like ginger and peppermint and fennel and anise and just it's not an aroma that you're just going to throw in the diffuser and be like, sweet, I cleaned my house today. You know what I mean? And
That's
so
true.
with Digest, like anytime I, eat something that's a little heavy, maybe, I don't know if you guys notice, but sometimes I can feel my food just like sitting there and it's not digesting at all. And so,
Especially if it was greasy.
yeah. And so I like to just rub it straight on my stomach. I was trying to say stomach and tummy at the same time. I rub it straight on my stomach. There's also another bottle called Digest Vitality. It's the same exact oil, but when we see these labels, it's usually like a topical aromatic use. And then when you see these white labels, it means it's for like a dietary supplement. But the FDA doesn't want us to have multiple uses on the bottle, so we have to have different labels. So when you're using Digest Vitality, again, same oil, but we're gonna be FDA compliant. When I'm using Digest Vitality, I will oftentimes just put a drop underneath my tongue. Like I'll just like, and that really like absorbs quickly and gets into my body and does exactly what I need it to do so that I can do the other things that I want to do. Maybe eat 3 more s'mores. I don't know. But similar to Brittany, my kids will be like, Tommy, I need the oil. And so we use this one like all the time, especially like when you're out and adventuring or camping or traveling. Your diet is probably going to be a little bit different. You're probably eating at different times. You're probably not getting the amount of sleep that you usually do. And so because of all these things being out of whack, Digest and peppermint is another digestive supporting oil. Because of these, like it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, and I've noticed we've seen peppermint twice already, and I did want to point out it's also has like a really nice cooling effect. So especially when you're like dealing with heat and stuff, if you have like a cloth or a scarf or something that you can put into water and then add like a drop of peppermint and you like drape it on your neck, it's going to help you cool down a lot more that way too. So it's got a whole bunch of different functions.
So many. Okay, the girls are going to be a little bit late. I just wanted to make sure I saw that. Okay. All right. And then Deep Relief and Panaway. So Deep Relief is a roll-on that I have with me all the time. I actually carry it in my wallet. But anytime I'm feeling like a little bit crampy, or maybe, maybe we just hiked and so I'm feeling a little sore. Maybe Lila, my 5-year-old, wanted to be carried down the mountain. And so I'm like really uncomfortable. So I like to just like roll this one on wherever I have discomfort. And then Panaway is also really good for any like minor aches and pains, muscles, tendons, ligaments, all that fun stuff. It's really good to support those different parts of your body. And so Panaway comes in the starter kit. And so that was the first one that I got to use. And I had just had a baby, and so my wrists were like so painful from just like holding them in like the one position I knew how, because I was a new mom and was too scared to try any other position. And so I would roll the Panaway like on my wrists, and it helped so much. You can dilute it and put it with like peppermint if you want, and make like your own little salve. That's really fun. But yeah, like all on the kiddos, if they like fall and like there's some like skin colored discoloration, I put like the oil around that area just to help the skin not look weird colors. I don't know how to say that in a way that's I'm not a healthcare professional, so I'm not allowed to like cure, prevent, treat, diagnose. So I have to be really careful about what I say. But these are our own personal stories that we've done, so maybe it's okay.
Yeah, mine, my Panaway and Deep Relief like live right here all the time. That is the spot for those.
That is the spot. And then like for some like more relaxing time, maybe like transitioning to bed, that can be kind of crazy if you're out and about in the forest or traveling in like a hotel or something. And so valerian, lavender, and cedarwood are all really great calming and relaxing oils. You can combine them, you can use them individually. It's totally up to you. I notice valerian is like a really rooty oil. So it smells like you just pulled something out of the dirt. Like it smells like that. So because of that, like it's very grounding. It's a very grounding oil. And then cedarwood, I mean, we're all pretty familiar with like a cedarwood smell, but it's very woodsy. And then lavender, very floral. And so the three smells combined just create like the best atmosphere ever. I'll put these oils in the kids' diffuser at night. Or if we're going to be going somewhere and I want to bring my oils with me, I might make like a little spray with these different oils in it. That way I can just like spray their pillows or spray like their blankets, stuff like that. Maybe if we're like driving home, I can spray their car seats and be like, go to sleep while we drive home. It's okay. And so I also want to point out like these are all like, or lavender and cedarwood are really good like skin supporting oils. And so if you run into any issues with your skin and you need something to help, I like to just apply these straight because they're so gentle. They don't need the carrier or anything.
Yeah, like when you collide with the asphalt and you leave a piece of your flesh there, that's a good time to use it.
Very good. Lavender is really great in the kitchen too. Like if you're cooking and then you accidentally touch the pan. Lila, my 5-year-old, is really like, she's consistent about that. Like there's not a day that goes by where she does not touch the hot pan while she's trying to help me cook. And so I always will, lavender's my go-to for that. And it helps her a lot. Even just the smell helps her calm down afterwards. So I like that.
Yeah, we also found use for it with Selena. She went to pick a flower out of like there was like some tall grass and like shrubby area. You can't really tell what's in there, And she pulled a flower out, and a couple minutes later, she's like, Mom, my hand that I picked my flower with is so itchy. And there was like a couple bumps on it, and I'm not entirely sure what she came in contact with at all.
Really?
So that's what I'm like, well, we'll just start here and see if it works. And it sure did.
Yeah, that's another reason why I like the oils. I'm like, okay, there's something off here. So we're just going to put oils on it.
Yep.
And then this is a picture of a roll-on called Be Well. You guys can't see this. It's like, yeah. And so I found a recipe online just to like support our immune systems while we're out and about. And so this is a nice one to like roll on the bottom of your feet or roll on your spine. But it's 10 drops thieves, 10 drops lemon, 10 drops oregano, 10 drops I want to say frankincense. I don't know. I'm gonna have to find the recipe for you guys. But and then I put carrier oil up to the top. And so it's a blend of different oils that we use all the time to support our immune system. You know, if you're going to be out and about around other people and you just want to make sure you're doing everything that you can to protect your body, or
especially the upcoming seasons.
Yes, especially when we're all eating things that we're not used to be eating, and there's like a lot of candy going around. So really good oil blend.
Yeah, I love that has oregano in it. That's like my favorite go-to immune support oil. Like everybody's always like, oh, immune support, you need thieves. And I'm like, thieves is cool, but have you tried oregano?
Have you tried oregano? Yeah. Yeah, I'll find the blend where I wrote it down and then I'll share it with you.
Yeah, my mother-in-law swears by that one. It was something that she made my husband and his siblings do as children, like in their teen years and stuff. If
oregano?
Yeah, if they had anything going on with their system at all, she would be like, you need to take a couple drops of oregano. And so she got me started on it at one point, and I'm like, this lady is crazy. And then I was like, this lady is crazy right. It tastes horrible. It is the worst thing in the entire world. But I will run for that bottle the minute I feel off because I know it's going to work.
So I did find the recipe. It's lemon, frankincense, oregano, tea tree, thieves, and peppermint. So just different amounts of each. And then you just fill it to the top with the carrier oil. And then it talks about like when you're using it with kids, you can lessen the amount of drops that you're using just so that it's not too much for them. So I'll have to put that in the event in a post.
Yeah, because some of the things listed in there do have like a warming sensation that kids can be a little more sensitive to. Like when I put it on, I'm like, oh, this feels nice. But kids are like, what is that?
And then hopefully they're not like, we need water, because that will just like intensify the feeling.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
Apply an essential oil and it has like this tingly sensation. It's just, you know, your skin is sensitive and that's okay. And then you just put extra carrier oil on it to dilute it further.
Yeah, water will just spread it around and that doesn't help.
So this is a picture of Young Living has like a little travel kit. And so it comes with a little bit of everything, which I really appreciate. So you will get like the toothbrush, you'll get the Thieves toothpaste, you'll get the Thieves floss and the hand sanitizer. You'll get a lip balm, that's a cinnamon, and then you'll get like all the shower necessities too, shampoo, conditioner, bath and shower gel, hand and body lotion. And then at the top is a little one of the Thieves mouthwash. The Thieves mouthwash is like so phenomenal. The first ingredient is like colloidal silver. So if you've ever done any research on that, like colloidal silver is really good for you. And so the Thieves blend is added to that. Oh, and then on the right by the toothbrush is a little jar of moisturizer, like for your face. And so this kit, I just like to have it on hand because I'm pretty impulsive when it comes to like getting out with my kids. And I'm like, okay, we're not having a good day today. Being at home is not a good idea for us. We are going to get outside and we're just going to like completely change how today is going for all of us. And so I just like to throw this in my backpack and have it so that wherever we end up, we have what we need. So.
That's awesome. I actually just came across the mouthwash on the website today. I didn't realize it existed. And it's funny because I was thinking about it previously. I was like, oh, it's too bad they don't make a mouthwash.
Mm-hmm.
But they do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been using the toothpaste for a long time. I really, really like that. And again, if I feel something going wrong with my immune system, I will add a drop of Thieves to my toothbrush while I'm brushing my teeth too. And I feel like that helps.
No, totally. I love it. I love doing all the things. Like I know like Thieves is really good for your immune system. If you add orange oil to your toothpaste, that helps whiten your teeth. You know, there's just like so many different things that you can do. And then these are packets of Ningxia Red. So you'll get 2 packs in your premium starter kit with all the oils. And what I love about Ningxia Red is that it is a whole body supplement packed with superfoods. And so this kind of helps like give us the energy that we need to get out and about. It has all the nutrients, enzymes, and minerals that you need in a day. So it definitely fills those nutritional gaps that you're not going to get in the American diet when we eat mostly like bread and dairy and like all these things, right? And so we drink probably like 1 to 2 ounces every morning, or if we're out and about, I'll bring the packets with us. These are also really good if you throw them in the freezer and then like just cut off the tops and have like little like Ningxia pops. It tastes.
I haven't tried that yet.
Oh yeah, you'll have to do it in the summer. It's like so fun. But
I like to put mine in orange juice. I just like the flavor combination.
Yes. Really easy to like throw into some smoothies. I like to dilute it with water. I like to drink it like a juice because it's so concentrated. And then I love too that it supports my body, my immune system, my digestive system, all those fun things. So it's kind of like our whole body vitamin for the day. And then these are some oils when nothing seems to be going right. So you have Peace and Calming, which does exactly what it says. You have Valor, which is one of my favorite emotional supporting oils because it seems to help kind of boost like courage and confidence.
It's going to turn you into a Gryffindor is the bottom line here.
Yes. Very brave. This is your brave oil. And so like I'll put this on like before I'm about to do things that make me scared or make me nervous. And Brittany and I were just talking about this today, so I like that. But this is one that I use a lot, especially a couple years ago when I was going through my divorce. Like this was the blend that I slathered myself in because it allowed me to have a lot of tough conversations through in a very emotional point in my life. And I didn't know what was going to happen. And that was really scary for me. And so Valor, I will tell everybody, like, this is my favorite blend. Please just have it. It will be like your friend in a bottle. Oh my gosh. And then Stress Away does exactly what it says too. Just smelling it, you can like put it on your shoulders if you have any like stress points. You can also, I like to put a drop, like I have this Himalayan sea salt macrame thing that hangs from my rear view mirror in my car. And so I'll put a drop on it. Oh, hey.
Yeah, like, it hangs in my office. My office is in my bedroom.
I love it. So I'll put like a drop of oil on that, like when I'm driving, just to make sure like everything feels stress-free as far as like traffic and the kids are in the back and they're screaming and making really inappropriate parody songs to Frozen. It's always about poop. Don't know. And they don't like Kristoff. And I feel bad for him. I think he's pretty cool. So these are some awesome oils to have on hand, just to help kind of bring down, I think, what Brittany had said at the beginning about like rolling on lavender, just to kind of bring it down.
Yep.
These are also really good ones to use at night too. And then these are awesome products for like being out in the sun. So you have the mineral sunscreen lotion, SPF 50. It's water resistant. It lasts 80 minutes. It's made with all awesome stuff. Zinc oxide is the main ingredient, and so you can research that if you want. So this stuff is pretty thick. So what I noticed is you kind of have to like warm it up in between like your hands, just to kind of get it to spread a little bit more. But I love this stuff. When I'm gonna go out, I think it's funny. It makes it sound like I'm going out at night. But when I go out during the day, I'll put this on my face, just to make sure like I don't get a sunburn on my face. And then like I'll put it on my kids too. Lavender and peppermint are really cooling together. If you were out in the sun for a little bit too long and weren't protecting your skin, you can dilute these with coconut oil and kind of like just put them on the area. It feels so good. So good. Add a little bit of aloe to it if you have that on hand. And then the Lavaderm, that box, there's a spray bottle in it, and it's an after sun spray, but it's for pain and for itch. And so I use this on cuts, on scrapes, on bites, on sunburns, on anything that causes us irritation or pain. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna spray you. And so this is nice to have on hand, just because it does soothe and cool your skin. And then my kids feel better immediately. This is a bottle I bring to our outdoor school as well. And so I work with the 3 to 7 year olds, and this last week, one of the girls got stung by a bee. It happens. She wasn't doing anything wrong. It just happens. And so it's just really nice to have things on hand that they can use right away if the moms didn't bring anything. So, and this is a fun recipe for an outdoor spray. So this is something that you would spray like on your clothes before spending time outside. So it has the rosemary, citronella, lemon, and thieves. So equal parts of all of it. And then you can add it to a spray bottle of distilled water with a little bit of witch hazel. I really like using this with my dog. If I am taking her on a walk or camping or anything, I have a bandana that goes around her collar. And so I'll spray her bandana with this spray, just to make sure nothing wants to make a home on her body. So this is the premium starter kit that I got started with like 7.5 years ago, that Brittany got started with. And so it does come with all the oils that we talked about today, plus a few extras. And so this is called like the everyday oil collection. So they are oils that you can kind of like enjoy different times of the day, every day. And then you'll get the diffuser to be able to use them aromatically, just to make sure you're putting immune boosting properties in the air. Or you can use Raven. That blend is really good to support your respiratory system. So you're breathing in things that will support your lungs. You can put like the lavender in it at night. There's a lot of things that you can do just combination wise. You can play with it and have fun. And then you'll notice all the white bottles, the white labeled bottles, those are technically for dietary consumption. And so you can put them in your water and drink them. You can put them in a vegetable capsule and take it like a supplement if you wanted to. The Digize would be one of those. I don't recommend drinking that in your water, or you could just put a drop under your tongue. But you'll get a sample of the Thieves household cleaner, which I take with me everywhere too, in a spray bottle. That's what that packet thing is. And then we'll spray that on different things instead of a different type of cleaner. And because it's plant-based, and I can even like spray my hands down with it, and it's totally awesome. You'll get the Thieves hand sanitizer, and then you'll get the 2 packets of Ningxia Red. And so not only when you get this kit are you going to get all this stuff, but you'll also get little welcome thank yous from me and Brittany. We really like to make sure that we support all of our members with the resources that they need to do this oily lifestyle, which is really fun. You'll also get access to our online unfiltered oiler community, full of a couple hundred like-minded people who also want to ask questions and get answers and learn about tips and recipes and tricks and how to kind of make the most out of your little bottles. You're also going to get 24% back on anything that you buy. This kit allows you to have like a wholesale cost instead of paying retail for everything. And so it's the best bang for your buck. And so if you just bought the premium starter kit and that was it, that's all you would have to do. You don't have to buy anything like regularly. You don't have to try and like sell it to people. It is like you buy it and you can choose to just, that's it. So it really just depends on like what you're looking for. As a member, it is an option to become a part of the Essential Rewards program, which is a monthly order, and it's a minimum of 50 PV or like $50, but you get to customize it to your own goals or to whatever things that you are looking to get. And so maybe the first time you order, you get the premium starter kit, but the next time you order, you want the mineral sunscreen and the insect repellent. So like that would be one order. And then maybe the next month you're like, oh, I need a little bit more lavender, or I need another bottle of Digize. And so it's really fun to be able to get the things that we want each month, but then also get some points back towards free product. So however much you spend, you get a percentage back every month. So like for 1 to 3 months, you get 10% back in points. 4 to 24 months, you get 20%. And then after 2 years, you get 25% back on what you spend. And so this is kind of like your own wellness box. There's a lot of subscriptions out there right now. And if your order happens to be a minimum of 100 PV or $100, you get free shipping. So that's a really fun added bonus too. I think I've been on the Essential Rewards program for 7.5 years. Super cool. I love it. But thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I hope that whatever you heard tonight, you're able to walk away with and feel like empowered to be able to get outdoors, whether it's in the woods, miles and miles away, or if it's in your backyard or in your front yard, wherever it may be. I hope that these oils and products can be really great for you and your family. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.